Welcome to the Church of Athreos. We're tithe collecting today, trying to get Nicol Bolas's tithes. As far as opening hand goes, yes, I love it. We're going to keep on this one. We've got 3 lanes in the hand. We do have some sort of mana ramp. We've got some card draw, and of course, we have Imperious Oligarch, which is one of my favorite cards coming out of the new Ravnica set. So, and then we'll talk about the deck here in just a second. So let's go ahead and lead off with. I guess it doesn't really matter. Go and lead off with Scrubland. Then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, welcome to the church. Hope you're excited to do some wonderful churchly duties today. We're playing Teysa Karlov. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Then creatures tokens you control have vigilance and lifelink. We're playing against Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. Flying, and then whenever enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Then for a 7-mana activation, exile him. He turns into Nicol Bolas, the Arisen. Opponent's going to lead off with a island, or actually go for Evolving Wilds and get down island. So let's do this. Let's just go for Night's Whisper. I kind of want this to stick. If they have any sort of counter magic, that's fine. But I want to just go ahead and cash in some of this card draw. And then next turn we'll go for 1 Power Stone. And, we could get down Oligarch, but I kind of like, draw to Living Death with 8 cards in the hand. So we might end up, I think at this point we just dump. Ooh, this is a tough one. I think we just get rid of Costly Plunder because we're not really going to be able to cash that in just yet. And I kind of like everything else we've got going on. So we're going to get rid of Costly Plunder, and then we're going to go and pass the turn back over to our opponent. So we're playing against Nicol Bolas, the Arisen. Once it flips, it's going to be +2 draw cards. Once that happens, that is just brutal. -3, deals 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker. And then for a -4, put target... Our opponent targeted us with drawing some cards. All right, well, we're just going to set up a really nice Living Death then if they're going to target us. Yeah, let's put Linda into the graveyard. Discard 2 cards. Yeah, I think we'll put a Linda. And I do like having these. If we're going to put a Sack Outlet in there. Yeah, let's go and put a Eiley into the graveyard too. But yeah, so they go for the +2, draw 2 cards, -3, 10 damage, -4, put target creature or a planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Then for a -12, exile all but the bottom card of target opponent's library. And opponent did get down a Dak Faden, and very interestingly chose us to go for the +2 and -2. So we'll see what sort of fun stuff we can go for. Let's see. We can get down 1 Power Stone. Really worried about Dak going for -2 on our 1 Power Stone, so that does not sound that fun. Let's just do this. Let's go and get down Swamp. Yeah, we're going to get down Oligarch. We did, thankfully, we did draw into a Sack Outlet. That's going to be Phyrexian Tower, so we can actually sacrifice Oligarch if we need to with Phyrexian Tower to get a little bit of extra mana. And once we get down Teysa, that'll be double Spirit tokens, and then hopefully that'll allow us to kind of deal with Dak Faden. But yeah, we don't want to give Dak Faden something to steal super quick into the game. We did cover both commanders. Let's give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders.com if you're wanting to get into. Yeah, let's just keep going for this this Living Death. Then let's dump Banisher, Priest, and the Demonic Tutor is going to be another way for us to really. And I guess since we've got Thespian Stage, Phyrexian, we're just going to get rid of 1 Power Stone because it's going to be hard to. Well, now that Dak Faden's at 5, it's going to a little bit hard for us to kind of keep him in check. But yes, let's give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders. If you want to get into 1 versus 1 commander, Magic Online is your #1 source, and be sure to hit up MTGOTraders. They've got tons of cards for you to choose from. In fact, if you want to build your very own church with Teysa at the helm, go for it. Okay, so we do have to discard a card. Unfortunately, we have no more creatures in our hand. So I think at this point, I like holding on to Toxic. We want to, we could potentially go for a Living Death next turn. That'd be a really nice setup, and that would send Nicol Bolas back to the graveyard. So yeah, we'll go and chunk at Thespian Stage because I still like Swords of Plowshare in this one. And then once we get down Phyrexian Tower, sacrifice Oligarch. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. So let's just go for a quick little reset. Ooh, drawing the Soul Ring too. All right, so we go Phyrexian Tower. We go Soul Ring. We're going to be able to, unfortunately, I think once we go for the sacrifice with Oligarch, we're going to get that Spirit token, but it's going to go away because of Living Death. But that's not going to stop us. So it's going to be, let's go and sacrifice Oligarch. That's going to give us 1 Afterlife token, 2 black mana, and that's going to set up a really nice Living Death and keep it to where we can keep online for a nice Swords to Plowshares too. So hopefully this will give us enough enough stuff to kind of deal with Dak fading over there. It's going to be 1-2, and Soul Ring was a wonderful draw for the turn, too. That really kind of helps us. Oh, look at this board state. Love it. Anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn. So once we get down Teysa next turn, we do have Phyrexian Tower. That's going to give us a few extra counters on Alinda, and that's going to give us a few extra tokens with Oligarch, and also kind of keeps us on for Eiley if we can get our life total going to go for that 3-mana activation. But thankfully, the church has some sort of governing body on the battlefield. All right, they're going to go for, yeah, that's fine. Grab our Soul Ring, enter the battlefield tap. We've got a little bit of a bigger board state over here, so we can certainly make that work. And do we have, let's see, I don't think we have Disenchant in here. But yeah, we talked about MTGOTraders. Give a quick shout out to inkedgaming.com. If you're in the market for a custom playmat, use coupon code JOLT to get 10% off your order and help the channel at the same time. And let's say that you really enjoy one of my thumbnails and you're like, man, that would look great as my desktop wallpaper for personal use only. Be sure to check the description of my videos. I've started to put a link to the thumbnail art that I use, and I kind of make it to where it looks a little bit better as a wallpaper. So if you want to get some wallpaper down and show it off to your friends, you can certainly do that. And then anything else, it is officially free time. We can talk about whatever we want. So I think we want to go for Swords to Plowshare on Olivia on this one. We don't want her to untap with an entire board of 1/1s and stuff like that. That's not going to be fun. So let's go for Swords to Plowshare on Olivia. That will give him a little bit of extra life gain, but thankfully that's going to clear the way for us to get rid of Dak Faden. We did give them a Soul Ring, but what we can do with Demonic Tutor is just grab some sort of spot removal or some sort of way to deal with Nicol Bolas, and then we'll kind of go from that for next turn. All right, so we draw into Godless Shrine. They've got 1 mana, so let's just go and push in on this one. So we need to send at least 3 over into Dak Faden. Let's go Oligarch. I can imagine her bonking Dak Faden on the head with that Orzhov staff. We want to cash in some lifelink, and I guess either way, yeah, we're going to have to send in Alinda either way. So Dak Faden, let's go Dak Faden up top. Let's go up top. All right, so we got 4 swinging in our opponent. It's going to put them down to 29 if this combat goes through. And at the same time, we should be able to deal with Dak Faden. So we'll see if they have any combat tricks or anything. But thankfully, we'll keep him off the battlefield. And let's go for Demonic Tutor. We can still end up shocking something in to go for Teysa, but let's just go and get this popped out. And I think at this point, yeah, let's just go Path to Exile. We want to keep Nicol Bolas in check. And do we want to we could sacrifice Banisher Priest. Yeah, let's go for that. So let's go and shock in Godless Shrine. We're going to pay 2 life. Let's go and sacrifice Banisher Priest. We can add that double mana. That's going to be, unfortunately, we're going to miss out on this last little trigger, but we're kind of bottlenecked a little bit on mana. So we want to end up getting down Teysa. So let's go for Teysa. It's going to be 1-2. And then that last black mana. There we go. We're going to get down Teysa. That's going to amplify these effects going out now. So really all we need to do is kind of cash in some card draw to really kind of get a few more parishioners onto the battlefield. But yes, it is free time. Now, as far as this Teysa deck goes, if you haven't seen this in action before, this is a very heavy human cleric style deck. We do have your key, heavy hitters in the deck. That's going to be cards like Alinda and Hallowed Spirit Keeper. But outside of that, this deck is set up to really just kind of sacrifice the board state. Let's say that you're new to the channel, you haven't heard of the Church of Athreos. What we really love to do is we'll get rid of... Yeah, I think at this point we'll just get rid of a Toxic Deluge because we can survive a Nightscape Familiar. We have an answer for Nicol Bolas, so we can start pushing in. If they want to trade with Nightscape, they certainly can. But yeah, the church is all about getting our parishioners on the battlefield. Ooh, and they're drawn to Damnation, which could be good. Okay. Yeah, we could go for Damnation, but I think I'll just like going for Path on Nicol Bolas. That's going to keep him in check, kind of just really keep that commander tax going. And if they can recast it again next turn, they can certainly go for it. If we miss out on Damnation, we so. All right, Pota's going to scoop it up on this one. So we were able to keep Nicol Bolas in check. A little bit of a shorter video, so I may end up splicing this onto another Linda video. But we were just fixing to get stuff going. You can see where we sacrifice something like Oligarch. We're going to get 2 spirit tokens on the battlefield. That's going to be 2 more tokens on Alinda. Once we sacrifice Alinda, that's going to be a lot of X1 vampire tokens, and just the fact that Teysa gives them vigilance and lifelink, we were definitely getting into a position where we could stabilize off this one, especially once we go for that sacrifice off of Alinda. And say we get the lifelink going. That's going to be a 3-mana activation with Eiley to exile target non-land permanent. So the church was definitely off to a good start. In fact, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Zegana's Petting Zoo. As far as our opening hand goes, yes, I love it. We're going to keep on this one. We've got Brainstorm, we've got Worn Power Stone to allow us to ramp just a little bit quicker, and we've got a +1 counter Matters creature in the new card, Skatewing Spy. So I guess at this point, both of our lands are going to enter the battlefield tapped, so it doesn't really matter. I guess we're just going to lead off with Lumbering Falls, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We are playing Zegana, the official keeper of the petting zoo. And if you're feeling feisty, go try to pet Sharkdo Crab. Promise you it will not turn out bad. It might. We've got doing a Brainstorm just during our main phase. Now let's just go and get down Harbor, and then we'll go and pass turn to our opponent. We're playing Zegana. Whenever Zegana enters the battlefield, if you control another creature with a +1 counter, draw a card. Then for a 6 mana activation, adapt for 4. Each creature you control with a +1 counter on it has trample. Very nice. Let's go for Brainstorm. Yeah, I actually don't mind going for this. And then Altered Ego, Master Biomancer, and then Alchemist Refuge. Let's put Rishkar's Expertise back on top, and we'll go and put Toothy on top too. So draw into one of those next turn. We'll at least be all 9 to get down Worn Power Stone, and then we can hopefully start rolling out some of these creatures to get a really nice petting zoo going for Amara. I bet she enjoys a petting zoo. Seems like that's something she'd like to do on the weekend. Let's get down Worn Power Stone, and then we'll kick it back over to our opponent. But yes, covered Amara. I don't think we did. Whenever Amara becomes tapped, create a 1/1 White Soldier creature token with lifelink, which reminds me, I definitely need to... I need to record Amara. I really enjoyed playing that deck, and it was always a lot of fun just getting those soldiers going. You can see how just off to a quick start you can get with something like Honor of the Pure. All right, so I'm going to get in for 3. That's going to knock us down to 27, and that will be 3 total commander damage. Let's get down Island. So we've got Master Biomancer. Yeah, I think if we get down Master Biomancer and then really kind of start rolling out some of these creatures, I think that'd be really good. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's go Master Biomancer. It's going to be 1/2, and it's going to give us 2 more mana, but there's nothing else we need to do, so we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, as far as this deck goes, if you did not see the deck tech, I just really wanted to highlight a lot of the really cool creatures that came out from Ravnica, the new set. So we've got Sharkdo Crab in here, we've got Galloping Lizrog, we've got Trollbred Guardian. I mean, just a whole ton of... Oh, did we just got hit with a choke? That card just really trips me out. All right, so we need to be careful with our islands, and thankfully we let off with Lumbering Falls and Hinterland Harbor. That was really nice. Ooh, Sage of Hours. So at this point we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 total mana. Yeah, let's go for Sage of Hours. I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to get down Sage of Hours. If our opponent's got Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshare, so be it. But at least it's going to enter the battlefield with a couple extra +1 counters on it, and then we'll kick it back over to our opponent. Now with Choke, the only downside to Choke is I'm looking at my deck list right now, hoping that I have some sort of artifact or enchantment removal, and it's not looking so hot. All right, so we may not have any sort of artifact enchantment removal. We're going to try our best on this one, and if we can get a few extra +1 counters on Sage of Hours, then that'll definitely allow us to maybe take a few extra turns and then kind of have some fun. Now, with our opponent getting down Birthing Pod, we do have Altered Ego in our hand. We can certainly have that enter the battlefield as a copy of any sort of creature that they have. So we'll definitely be holding on to Altered Ego, and especially with Master Biomancer out there, that will definitely allow for us to... end up with some really nice +1 counters on it, whatever it decides to become a copy of. And thankfully with this 2/4, oh, no, we're going to see Amara swing in. Do we want to trade with Sage of Hours? Is that something... I think we just block with Master Biomancer. Yeah, that's fine. It's simply just a 3/3. We'll try to get a little bit bigger creature on the battlefield to kind of stop... ooh, Bioshift. That's exactly what we wanted to see. All right, so the best way to kind of do this... Whenever you draw a card, put a +1 counter on it. So we could end up going for Zegana to get her down. If we end up getting Toothy, it's going to enter as a 1/1, and then we can search our library for Peer. Actually, yeah, let's go for Prime Speaker. I kind of actually want to draw, see if we can't just cash in an extra card draw. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to get down Zegana at this point right now. We can end up going for that Adapt for 4. It's going to be 2 +1 counters on it. And with Bioshift, with the Sage of Hours, we need to get 5 counters on there to take an extra turn. We do run into Preordain. Okay. Then anything else, we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. Now, hopefully we can find one more colored source, because we are kind of under this weird lock with... with Choke out there, cutting us out on 1 blue mana. But as far as what we need to do, I'd really like to get a few extra counters. Now, if we end up going for the Adapt for 6, we can't actually do that with Zegana because it has 2+1 counters on it. So if we can get a creature, something like Altered Ego, if we can really kind of amplify those counters, we can definitely use Bioshift to put a few extra on Sage of Hours and go for an extra turn. The only downside to running Sage of Hours in here is we can't run Corpse Jack Menace, and that makes me really sad, because with Corpse Jack Menace, if you put a +1 counter on a creature, it doubles the number of +1 counters on it. And it's just like whenever I think of Bioshift, I just always think of Corpse Jack Menace. So unfortunately, you can't run it in here, but if we could sneak a black card in here, I certainly would. It'd be a lot of good. It'd be a lot of fun. Opponent's going to get out Mysteries. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, create a 1/1 white human's soldier creature token, and then whenever a non-token creature you control dies, investigate. Okay, so I've got a little bit of an insurance policy to get some sort of board wipe, but thankfully that's not really what we've got going on, so we don't have to worry about too many token counters from our opponent. Now with them sitting at 2/2s with lifelink, okay, they're not going to swing in. I like that. We're going to have Zegana sitting as a 6/6, and that does kind of put us in a position where if we wanted to start swinging with Zegana, we certainly could. Ooh, okay, with Shapers of Nature, if we end up going for Rishkar's Expertise, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can actually go for Preordained. Yeah, because we need to make the land drop. It's turn 7. We've got 4 lands on the battlefield, so we can still always get down 2 Thief if we need to. Trollbred Guardian, let's go ahead and put that on the bottom for right now. And then, yeah, we can actually put Double Forest down with Blighted Woodland, so we'll definitely go and leave that on top. Drawn to Blighted Woodland, let's go and get that down. And then we'll simply just go ahead and go for the activation at this point right now. That way we don't forget about it. Maybe 1, 2, 3. That way we can sacrifice Refuge. We're going to grab Double Forest on this one because if we grab an island, it's not going to be so good for us. And then anything else, we're going to kick it back over to our opponent. I really think our next best bet is definitely to go for Altered Ego next time. We can get a ton of +1 counters on it. It's going to end up being 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with the equal to its power. So it's going to end up being a 2/2. So yeah, that'll be a pretty good option, especially for us to Bioshift. So we'll see what they end up grabbing off of this Birthing Pod activation, off of sacrificing Courser of Crewfix. But maybe, hopefully, that'll be a really good option for us to go for with the Altered Ego. Then, worst case scenario, we can actually just get down Skatewing Spy and then really start putting some pressure. Ooh, Academy Rector. Okay. Now, we do have to watch out for Academy Rector, because once they end up going for the sacrifice on Academy Rector, that's going to allow them to search up any sort of enchantment out of their graveyard. So we might try to set up a few extra turns for next turn. I think we might end up trying to do that if we can somehow make that work. Getting him on stage, yeah, we might try to do that. Okay, drawn to Rampant Growth. So if we end up going for Altered Ego, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can actually go for 6, enter with 4, and then Bioshift onto Sage of Hours. That'll be an extra turn. Yeah, let's try that. So let's end up going for Altered Ego. It's going to be 1, 2. And we'll tap down Alchemist Refuge. So let's go for Altered Ego. And I guess technically, if we wanted to, we could actually have it enter the battlefield as a copy of Master Biomancer. Because Eternal Witness could end up working with Preordained if we wanted to bring something back. But I kind of like Master Biomancer. Yeah, let's go for that. Any creature on the battlefield. Yeah, because Eternal Witness Amara would be potentially good. But I kind of like going for this. We're going to click OK. Have it enter the battlefield as a copy of Master Biomancer. Let's go for Bioshift. We're going to remove the counters from Master Biomancer and then put them onto Sage of Hours. And there'll be an additional +1 counter on Sage. And we're going to go ahead and move, just go ahead and move all of those over there. Actually, if it's sitting at 3, we're just going to move 2. All right, Poto's going to scoop it up on this one. The game wasn't technically over, but yeah, I'll go end up posting this one up because you can kind of see what the interactions are going to be like. So we put the +1 counters from Master Biomancer onto Sage Hour, and then we get to take the 5 counters off of this one and take an extra turn. So unfortunately, this is one of those games where it's not technically over yet. We're going to be able to take an extra turn. Next turn, we're going to be able to get down Skatewing Spy once we take that extra turn, and that's going to be at least about 15 in the air, and depending on what they grabbed off Academy Rector. But I'm going to go and post this one up. You can kind of see what the deck is certainly trying to do, and the sort of shenanigans that you can get into having Alter Ego enter the battlefield as a copy of Master Biomancer. Even if we don't have Sage of Hours on the battlefield, we get down a copy of Master Biomancer, it's a 6/8, then every single other creature we get down is going to be a beautiful Sound the Simic Alarms creature. But if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Mathas, the Bounty Hunter. As far as our opening hand goes, yes, we're going to keep on this one. I like this hand a lot. We've got the turn 1 Scry, the Scurry, the Fever, the Insanity, the Descent Sword. Yeah. Oh, that's protection from Izoni. So we'll definitely put that on top. And then anything else, we'll go and pass turn our opponent. But yes, welcome to Mathas Fiend Seeker. We got some Bounty Hunters for you today. It's been a long time since we played this deck, and so I'm really excited. Got it updated, and we'll talk about some of the new cards for the deck here in just a second. But let's cover our commanders. So we're playing Mathas Fiend Seeker. Fiend Seeker. There we go. Let's get down, I guess, Windswept Heath. We do need to find another black source for Hero's Downfall. So let's go and get down Windswept Heath. Let's go and crack a Windswept Heath. And I'm going to grab Godless Shrine. Let's just have that come into play tap. That way we don't have to worry about it later. And we can continue to cover our commanders. Nothing else for 2. Playing Mathas at the beginning of your end step. Put a bounty counter on target creature an opponent controls. Then, for as long as that creature has a bounty counter on it, whenever this creature dies, each opponent draws a card and gains 2 life. So we're going to brand our opponent's creatures and then get some spot removal going and cash in a card draw, some life gain. We're playing against Izoni, the Thousand-Eyed. Whenever Izoni enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token for each creature card in your graveyard. Oh, there we go, running at Scrubland. I guess at this point, since our opponent doesn't really have anything on the battlefield, I kind of like going for Duretti. I think that'd be pretty good. So let's get down a Scrubland. Let's go for Duretti. And I love Duretti. He's such a good planeswalker. We get this down. Let's go for the +1. And we're basically just going to be getting as many construct tokens on the battlefield as quickly as possible. And then we'll kick back over there. Playing against Izoni, graveyard, tokens. And then for a 2-mana activation, sacrifice another creature, you gain 1 life, and you draw a card. Let's give a quick shout out. Oh, man. Opponent Ravenous Chupacabra, but that's not the end of the world. We can still end up making another one. So let's go for the +1. And I think at this point, yeah, it'd be a good opportunity to get down Mathas. Yeah, I like that. So it's going to be white. Actually, we need to tap that down for red first. It's going to be red, black, and then white. Let's get down Mathas. That way we can brand that Ravenous Chupacabra. And since there's nothing else for 1, let's go and go for Temple of Mouse, get the additional Scry going, the Scurry. And, well, yeah, let's put that on the bottom. We could Scry again, but I want to get some sort of action going. Worst case scenario, next turn we are looking at Sword of Feast and Famine, equipping it onto Mathas, swinging in, untapping our lands, and at least still going for Hero's Downfall and Ravenous Chupacabra, so I kind of like that. But yes, quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. They're your #1 source for any sort of new standard needs or any sort of commander needs, so make sure you hit them up. If you've been playing Arena and you want to be able to kind of play decks whenever you want, get the cards whenever you want, not worry about wild cards, Magic Online is definitely the avenue to take. Now, we do have to discard a card. I guess we just get rid of Knight. I think we're okay with that at this point right now. But yeah, you know, wild cards, they are nice on Arena, but at least with Magic Online, you can, like, I threw together a deck the other day that had a ton of rares, and it was like 9 tickets on Magic Online. So if you want to play some standard commander, that's definitely the place for you to check it out. Ooh, we're running into Fleshbag Marauder. Okay, so let's go ahead and get down Rugged Prairie. And we go Duretti, sack, destroy target artifact or a creature. Then we go Fleshback Marauder. I really like getting down this Sword of Feast and Famine. Yeah, I think that's going to be really good. The worst case scenario, we're just going to be able to get in for a really nice chunk of damage. So let's go ahead and get the sword over to Mathas. He's going to have the sword in one hand and the branding iron in the other. Let's go and swing in with Mathas. That's a good thing about Sword of Feast and Famine. You know, it always does help if you're playing against a Golgari deck, you know. You'll definitely take that opportunity. But being able to swing in and basically you just get a free combat step to untap your lands is a very, very good feeling. Now, do we want to go for Hero's Downfall, Ravenous Chupacabra? You know, let's just get another counter on. Let's go for the +1 off of Duretti. And the next turn, we'll kind of decide exactly what we want to go for. And we'll be able to put an additional counter. Let's go and put it onto the... probably going to be targeting that jungle creeper. Creepy dude. And then anything else, we'll pass it on. Also, shout out to inkgaming.com. If you're in the market for a custom playmat, they will definitely be able to take care of you. Use coupon code JOLT to get 10% off of your order. So, that is it. Now it is officially free time. We can talk about whatever we want. Let's go and cash in this Hero's Downfall on Jungle Creeper. I think that'd be good. Yeah, so we cash in Hero's Downfall, because what we can do is we can cash in, go for Hero's Downfall, then we can double block the Construct tokens on the Ravenous Chupacabra, and that'll be 2 life gain. Yeah, I like that. Get our very own Ravenous Chupacabra, the original one. Let's go to the blocking, double Construct tokens on Ravenous Chupacabra. That'll give us another 2 life, and also cash in another card draw. Now, I did add Teysa to the deck, which I'm really excited about. I'll kind of talk about that here in a second. Read the bones, and then we'll see what else our opponent wants to get down. But yeah, so we made a few updates to the deck. This is something that I've recorded a long time ago, and to be perfectly honest, I may not have... let's see, when it enters the battlefield, return target creature card from a graveyard to your hand. So they will end up going for Ravenous Chupacabra. But thankfully, since we do have Sword of Feast and Famine on Mathas, we do not have to worry about that Chupacabra coming down. So we can keep making our Construct tokens. And then Uazama's Jitte. Oh, yeah, this is good. Let's get down Battlefield Forge. Let's go for Jitte, because it's going to be how much to equip. It's going to be 2 to equip, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm fine with that. If we get these charge counters on Mathas, that'll definitely allow us to kind of start kind of picking off, make some of the combat steps not that good for our opponents. So go for the +1 ability, get that Construct token. Let's go and swing in with Mathas. It's going to have protection that will put us at 10 total commander damage. And then also next turn, it does kind of put us in a position where we might end up kind of going for some sort of Jitte counters, making either Mathas a little bit bigger or using it to kind of get rid of some of our opponent's creatures. So we're going to get those 2 charge counters. And I think we just kind of clear the way. We do need to get a token on one of those creatures, but I think at this point, yeah, let's do this. Let's go for Flesh Bag. We're not going to be able to cash in... any sort of bounty counter on here, but at least we can get the sacrificing ability going. Let's go and sacrifice the Construct token, and they sacrifice the rat. Let's go for Read the Bones. We're just going to scry our library just a little bit deeper. The bones of the people that Mathas has hunted, and then Crux of Fate, and go for the Throat. Let's go and put Crux of Fate on the bottom. Well... yeah, we need to leave. Both of these are perfectly fine cards. We don't need to get cute with that card draw. And then anything else will pass the turn. So we've got Fleshback Marauder. If they want to swing in with the Meanderer, or Minder, sorry, threw an extra syllable in there. We'll at least be able to trade and still cash in a bounty token. But as far as some of the new cards I did add to the deck, did add Teysa, because that just works out really well with the Death Trigger. Getting that extra card draw, extra life gains, always nice. Just goes to show you how nice of a card that Teysa was printed. And then we're also running Ethereal Absolution in here. It's another way for us to kind of make it just a little bit easier to get rid of some of our opponent's creatures, and then still also kind of buff the board. Now with the charge counters, they're swinging it to ready. We can make it -1. Yeah, we'll just go and let that come across. That's fine. We'll at least be able to go for the Throat next turn, and then we're still pushing in. And we're looking at how many. This is going to be +2/+2. That's going to make Mathas a 9/9, and that'll put it at almost commander damage for next turn. So I think we're good with that. So let's get down Swamp. And we're going to do as much of this main phase as possible. So let's go ahead and plus up on to ready. Get that Construct token on the battlefield. Let's go for Necrotl. And make sure we don't go too low on black mana. There we go. And that'll be just enough for go for the Throat too. So let's get down Necrotl. We're going to target... oh yeah, I can't target a non-black creature. I forgot about that. Good thing Lana Waros was out there. Let's go for the Throat on Meander. That way we can cash in a card draw if we need to get down something on the second main phase. And then that'll be Lightning Greaves. Okay. Then anything else, let's go and push in with the Mathas. And that'll allow us to get in for 15. I think at this point we're just going to leave up Uazama's Jitte. And that way we can just kind of use that to get rid of some of our opponent's creatures. And also once we get that counter onto Ravenous Chupacabra, then we can use that to get rid of it. So yeah, I kind of like that. Let's get down Lightning Greaves. It's going to be 1, 2. And not that we need to worry about any sort of protection or spot removal from our opponent. We'll just go and stick Lightning Greaves onto Mathas. And then, oh yeah, look at that. We'll go for that Jitte. We'll see what else they get down for the turn. But they are definitely in top deck mode. So we can definitely... all right, opponent's going to scoop it up on this one. Next turn, we've got the Uazama's Jitte triggers to give us enough commander damage. Or we can even just simply just go for the activations of giving creature -1/-1, cashing that bounty counter. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Teysa today. So hopefully we get to see her sometime soon. But you can see how good that would work out with... well, actually with Teysa... I think that only counts for our opponent. Either way, we've got it in here. We've got some Dessa. It just now hit me that she might not work for our opponent's creatures. But I'll look up that card in a second. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.